This guy right here. This bears its own video. Some of this will be a rehash from my power rankings video, where I've now made you the second worst team in the conference. Boy, North Carolina should thank Florida State for avoid being the worst team in the conference. But I really don't know what else I could have done to tell the North Carolina fan that this wasn't going to work out. I even predicted this would retire Mack Brown. Did I not? Go back and look. I don't remember exactly. I think I said on a ton of the reaction videos, I said, this decision to hire, hold on, I got to pull a Geoff. This decision to hire Geoff Collins was going to be the end of Mack Brown. We're going to get into it in a little bit. Basically, Mack Brown's ready to retire. Am I a genius or am I a genius? No one knows Geoff Collins better than me. If you've never seen one of my videos, no one knows Geoff Collins better than me. Let me tell you how I knew this wasn't going to work out. Georgia Tech hired this guy from Temple. He'd never proven anything as a head coach. You know, I guess he was a decent DC 15 years ago. And we hired him to a 7-year contract. Worth, however, his buyout ended up being $11.37 million. He made history at Tech, but not the kind of history you want. He made the diarrhea history. Georgia Tech had never lost to an FCS opponent. Geoff Collins made that happen. He took the, you're at Georgia Tech, you can do that, the wrong way. So we never lost to an FCS opponent. I don't think we have ever had three win seasons in a row either. I'd have to check on that, but I'm almost certain that's never happened. Just historically bad. Then after the fact, you find out that he's literally whooping pool noodles out at practices to avoid contact. They're only having 2 light practices a week. You know, we had a coach that had won an ACC title for us, here before him. Did a lot of good historic things at Tech in Paul Johnson. And Geoff Collins cancels his key fob, basically makes it where he can't get on the facilities anymore. When we played Florida State that year, high Florida State, yeah, Geoff Collins beat you idiots. Run along now. Fly, fly, fly. Fly, fly, fly. And they had the block kick return for a touchdown, Florida State 2015 victory, and Collins made him take that off. This guy's immature, ripped his hand away from Pat Narduzzi because he's a childish idiot. And then the whole time he's still selling Tech. I know right where we're going. We're a play away. You know, we just got a few things to correct, but listen to me. Every team you lose to, I don't care if it's the Citadel to the Chiefs, best team in the country. They got really good players. Again, North Carolina, while Geoff Collins was the coach here, when he played y'all and beat y'all, you're another team that he beat. You're the only team he blew out, I'm pretty sure, that was a Power 5 team. He admitted to fawning over the North Carolina players while he's the head coach at Georgia Tech. All of this is common knowledge. You're telling me that your geriatric patient of a coach, Mack Brown, couldn't look at the writing on the wall and see this is not someone that's going to correct North Carolina's defense. No one wanted this fool. This guy was drooling on his own shoelaces for a year and a half because no one wanted to hire him. People that fall into the category of failed head coaches but good coordinators do not sit on their asses for a year and a half. They're hired by a team as a DC, or they go to Nick Saban's rehab program for reject coaches. And hell, it's worked for some of them. Look at Sark at Texas. He even takes alcoholics, man, and makes them into good coaches. He didn't want anything to do with Geoff Collins. But when we promoted Key, Nick Saban made a statement about him. Then you hire him. And maybe there was just a second where I was nervous that I might have been wrong. Then I see you black out your spring game. You black out your spring game because you're terrified of Minnesota. Every year, North Carolina beats Minnesota. They're winning the conference. They're going to the playoffs. Minnesota sucks. Minnesota has no offense. And in the game this year, you really got done dirty because it rained heavy, which favors the defense. That's harder for an offense to overcome. You're playing a bunch of nobodies, North Carolina Central and holding them to under 20. Oh, Geoff Collins, he's the greatest thing ever. He's in his press conferences with literal balloons behind him. You've got balloons behind this guy. Like you're at a middle school ice cream party. He's talking about red dots and green dots on plays and loving on kids and dapping them up. I don't know what else you needed to see that this guy is not a coach. He's not even a coach. He's like a daycare guy for adults, I guess. And then he makes history again. Everywhere this fool goes, he makes history. He makes doo-doo history for you. Never have you given up 53 points and a half. Ever. North Carolina's been playing football a long time. Never given up that many points and a half. Well, shit, y'all must have been playing Alabama or the Kansas City Chiefs. No, you were playing James Madison, who struggled to put 14 points on Garner Webb last week. How many missed tackles do y'all have in that game? 25. You had personal fouls last week against North Carolina Central because you're undisciplined. 612 yards of offense, James Madison hung on you. 70 points. 70. And let me tell you, I'm going to react to his last press conference in preparation for this game tonight. I don't know what time it'll be. I want to see what this moron had to say before he went out there and made history as like the shittiest coach, shittiest DC in North Carolina history. Now check this out. Boy, Wreck is a prophet, isn't he? Do you guys see why I was so thrilled you hired him? This is from Inside Carolina. Now, I don't have a ton of respect for Inside Carolina. They don't have comments on any of their videos. If you look at their About section, you immediately get threatened with them trying to copyright strike your video. I wish they would try that. But this is from Inside Carolina. It reads, an emotional Coach Mack Brown told the North Carolina football team that he was walking away from the job after the Tar Heels' embarrassing 70-50 loss to James Madison on Saturday at Kenan Stadium. Multiple sources close to the situation have told Inside Carolina hours later. Another source close to the situation emphasized that the 73-year-old college football Hall of Famer, who long has taken losses hard in their immediate aftermath, isn't resigning or quitting his coaching position, explaining that Brown told the Tar Heels he would step down from his coaching post if that would be best for the team. He will be in the office tomorrow, getting back to work, going in and having a normal Sunday. That's a wrap. So it's now out there that after this historically bad loss, I guess he went to administration or his AD or someone, and he either said he was walking away or he was willing to step down if that's what was best for the team. How can any player for North Carolina buy into what they're doing now? They haven't played 4 games, right? In other words, they can still declare for the portal and save a year of eligibility. If I was on North Carolina, that's what I'd be looking to do. Because this is an absolute train wreck. Additional sources close to the situation said that affecting locker room scene has put the program in a state of flux. You think, you're not going to go in and have a normal Sunday when your coach is evidently willing to step down. UNC Athletic Director Bubba Cunningham didn't respond to a request for comment Saturday night. Cunningham knew UNC Chancellor Lee Roberts and UNC Board of Trustees Chairman John Prayer were in the lobby of Keenan Football Center here late Saturday afternoon, taking their standard places as part of the audience for Brown's post-game session to the reporters, which was embarrassing. During that press conference, by the way, I wish I could get rid of this so it doesn't. During that press conference, Mack Brown said, there's been a lot of games in my career I wish I could leave after the first quarter. This guy's a Hall of Fame coach talking about games he's coached in where he wanted to leave after the first quarter. And the natural question was asked after this, well, was this one of them? Did you want to leave after the first quarter? I mean, you can't even get mad at fans leaving Kenan Stadium when your coach is saying he wants to leave after the first quarter. He ended up saying, no, I mean, someone's got to coach the team and be the voice of reason and all this, that, and the other. Mack Brown's done. There's a 0% chance Mack Brown is the head coach next year for North Carolina. Sunday's loss plummeted into anything but typical, with UNC 3-1 putting forth an unfathomable performance. The Tar Heels have never given up more points in a college football game. I didn't know that either. So they've never given up 70. So not only have they never given up that many points in a half, they've never given up that many points, period. Congratulations, Geoff Collins. Congratulations. And yeah, it does make me feel great to be vindicated. Does make me feel great to be vindicated. Block everyone on Twitter because you can't stand your feelings getting hurt because no one's dapping you up. You're an absolute embarrassment. You're an asshole. And you're a shit coach. Pretty much what it is. Additional sources said the UNC and players reacted to Brown's words with passionate support for their head coach. Not all of them. I guarantee you that. There was a lot of people quiet, just flabbergasted at what they've signed up for, taking the blame on themselves. Sources since have conveyed hope from the UNC players that Brown will at least finish the season, but if not, tight ends coach and run game coordinator Freddie Kitchens has the player support to take an interim role. Get this trending on Twitter like Collins as head coach. Please make Geoff Collins your head coach. I don't know if this guy has ever been a head coach before, but that tells you that these guys have probably already caught on that Geoff Collins don't know what he's doing. You had a guy that just left a head coaching position, and he's not in line to be your interim. So I'm not going to read through all this, kind of a longer article, but yeah, WreckTalk told you. WreckTalk told you this decision to hire Mack Brown was going to retire him, and it looks like it has. Now, I don't know what the expectation for North Carolina is. Again, it's been over 40 years since you've even won the conference. It's been over 40 years. Mack Brown's probably the best coach you've ever had. And this is what it's gotten you. This probably retires Geoff Collins for good, too. Geoff Collins now is probably going to be relegated to because he's like, oh, I got a ton of offers. From where? From Oconee County High School? From Macon High School somewhere? No one was given that. No one was giving him any offers. So, again, it feels good to be vindicated. North Carolina's season is now irrevocably over. There's no chance now. Again, when your head coach is saying he's willing to step down, that's a wrap. And that's a wrap on you for like the next 3 years too, because there's no way Mack Brown is your coach next year, which means your entire staff is about to get wiped out. And it's hilarious that Geoff Collins goes and sets records at a school and he's going to get fired in his first year. Hope you enjoy that tech money, buddy. And then, so you're going to wipe your whole staff. You're going to have a ton of players leave. This year's recruiting class is going to be a wipe because they're all going to decommit. And you're going to be in a rebuild for the next 2 to 3 years. So I will say this. Shout out to Tar Heel Huddle because he stayed in the pocket with this game. I remember the Bowling Green loss, which is not near as bad as this. It's not even the same universe as this. But I hear him saying the same things that Sea-Dog and I have. Well, it seems like this always happens to us, blah, blah, blah. Well, here's what I can say. Thank you, North Carolina. I had one thing to look to be happy about. You know, yeah, I get it. We got embarrassed by Louisville, but we didn't get embarrassed by James Madison. And I could always look on the bright side. At least Geoff Collins isn't on my staff. Y'all have a good one.